Hi, I am Dr. Shivendra, and in this tutorial we will discuss the Unity scripts, mono behavior functions and data types. So this is the basic GUI of Unity, and we have already studied about the various panels, tools and various primitive game objects of the Unity. So here we will discuss the basic scripting knowledge in C Sharp for Unity. Here I assume that you have little bit knowledge about the scripting or programming. You have some knowledge about data types, functions, programming loops, conditional statements. So if you have knowledge of this all things, so this tutorial will be very easier for you. As we know that in order to add any script to as a component with any objects, we have various options. Either we can create the script from here, create C sharp script, okay, and you can name the script. Suppose I am name it func, okay. So if I will open it, so we can see here it is opening in Visual Studio. So basically our scripting will be in C sharp. So here we can see that the script is opened in Visual Studio and few lines of codes are already written in this script. So one by one we'll understand what is it. So here we can see that we are using Unity Engine as a namespace. It means we have a library and we are extracting some functions from that library. Okay, so that's why we are using this package Unity Engine. Now here we can see that a class is already created as name func. This is the same name which I have provided to my code or script. So it means whatever name you will provide to your code or script, class will be created with same name. Now here you can see that we are inheriting the mono behavior class, or we are extending the mono behavior class. Actually mono behavior class is a class which is already available in Unity Engine namespace, and here various functions and classes are available which are very useful for game designing. So in we can use all those functions in our game programming. Now you can see here we are getting two functions by default. One is void start and one is void update, but these two are blank functions. We can write our own code in these functions. So what is void start? In void start, as you can see in comment, that start is called before the first frame update. It means this start function will be called once at the time of running the program. Okay, when it means whenever you will run the code or you will run the program, this function will be called once. Okay, now this update function. So here you can see that update is called once per frame. It means if our system is of 60 fps, it means 60 frame per second. So this update function will be called 60 time in 1 second. So we can understand it. Suppose here I am writing now. If I will play this particular Unity scene, so we can see here the message must be written in our console panel. So we can see here game is in play mode but nothing is written. So why it happened so? Because the reason behind this, we have created the script but we have not assigned this script to any game object which is available in this scene. So it means that this is the basic requirement, that whenever you are creating a script, it must be assigned with a game object which is available in the scene. Then only that script will be activated. So here we have only two game objects, main camera and directional light, and there is no game object is available. So what we can do, we can create an empty game object. So empty game object is what? It is a game object with invisible property. Means game object is available but we cannot see in scene or play mode. So we can assign this script to this game object. Now our the basic requirement is fulfilled, means we have a script and that script is associated with the game object. Now if we will see, so here in console you can see that hi, I am Shiven, and it is written one time. Why one time? Because this particular line is written in start function. This start function will be called only one time during the life cycle of the program. Okay, so what will happen if I will write this code in update function? You can delete it from here. So here you can see that the number of this lines increasing. Here you can see that this number is increasing. Why? Because this particular line is written in update function, and update function is called once per frame. So with every frame this particular line will be written. Here you can see that number of times this line is written. So I have applied the collapse, that's why it is increasing the number only. Okay, now we will see what are the basic data types available in C# which can be used in game programming. So basically if you have a basic programming knowledge, so you all know about the integer data type, float, string, character. So these all data types are also available in C#, but there are some other data types which are not primitive and which are very essential for game programming. So because if we are talking about a game object, so a game object or a single point or single pixel of a game object cannot stored in integer or float variable, because the property of the pixel or the property of the coordinate value of a game object is little bit different. If we are working in 3D environment, if we are working in 3D game space, so every pixel of a game object will have three values associated with it. One is related to x direction, one is related to y direction, and one is related to z direction. So it means we must have such type of data type which can store x, y and z coordinate value in a single space. Similarly, if we are dealing with 2D game space, so we must have such type of data type which can store x and y value simultaneously. So for that, C# provide us a vector type of data type which can do the same thing. So here we can see that we have vector 2 if we are dealing with 2D game space, vector 3 if we are dealing with 3D game space, vector 4 if we are dealing with three-dimensional game space with additional values. Okay, so generally we are dealing with a vector 3. So here you can see that we can create a vector 3 variable, suppose creating a variable with name vec1. This vec1 is a vector 3 type of variable, and this variable can store a pixel value. It may be position, it may be any pixel value, it may be rotational value, it may be translation value of any game object. Okay, so here you can see that if I create an object of, actually vector3 is what, it's a class which is available in mono behavior, and here we are creating a constructor. So here you can see that if I write vector3, if so here you can see actually vector, here we are creating a constructor vector3 which is parametric constructor because we are providing some parameters. So here you can see that we can provide three variables like float x, float y and float z. So suppose 2f comma 3f comma 4f. Okay, so now you can see that we have created vec1 variable of vector3 and we are assigning the values to x direction as a 2f, y 3f and 4f to z direction. Okay, so why I have written the f, because it denotes the float type of variable. Now you can suppose here I am taking a float type of data type, that is f suppose. So f equal to, we can write vec1 dot. So here you can see that there are various options are available. So we can see here that x and y and z, three coordinate is also available explicitly. If I will write here x, and if then what will happen? So here you can see 2 is printed, and we have assigned 2 to x coordinate, and we are printing x here, so that's why 2 is printed. Now I hope that you all have understood the basic functions of mono behavior and this data type, because I have focused only data type of vector2 vector3 because all other data type are also available in other programming languages, but this is the main thing which I wanted to discuss with you, and it will be more clear to all of you when we will deal this data types in game programming. Okay, for getting more details about scripting, we can take the help which is available in Unity. If you will if you will go to help, come to scripting reference. So here scripting reference is opened, and you can type here, for example, mono behavior. So now you can see that this class is available here, and here we can see that all the functions which are available, all the methods which are available in mono behavior are mentioned here, like a start update, fixed update, late update on GUI. So these all are the methods, public method, static method. So you can get more details from this scripting reference. Here you can also see the other classes like vector3. Okay, here you can see that this is a description of vector3, representation of 3D vector endpoints, and these are the static property we will see later. These are the various properties. Here you can see that I have taken this property like vec1.x. So there are additional properties are there you can use in your programming for game designing. Okay. Thank you.